Smartphones are some of the most used technologies. Without them, how will people awkwardly avoid eye contact in public? But are smartphones doing more harm than good? Today we're going to investigate the question, how does the use of smartphones as a social tool affect people's behavior in social interactions? First, let's talk about why people use smartphones. According to a study done in 2017, there are around 2.4 billion smartphone users, with around 4.5 million applications available to download in app stores. With that many apps on hand, it's ridiculous to assume I wouldn't use my phone at all during school. I mean, seriously, the only thing anyone remembers from high school is that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Regardless of when you use them, smartphones are used in a number of different ways, like information seeking, social interaction, and even relaxation and entertainment. Smartphones are a fast and easy way to connect people, but with these devices comes lots of distractions. And as much as playing Diner Dash during class would have been super fun, it would have had a negative impact on my studying. There's a term called cyberloafing, which is defined as using a smartphone for irrelevant activities in classroom environments. So as boring as your English teacher might have been, cyberloafing can lead to disengagement in class, loss of motivation, discipline problems, and sleep problems. It's not all bad though. If you had a job, cyberloafing can be a great thing. It has been proven to have a positive correlation with escaping from work stressors and causing an increase in creativity. So, sorry kids, but your parents need Subway Surfer on their phone way more than you do. So sure, in these environments, smartphones seem great, but can having a smartphone affect our day-to-day lives? In a short sense, yes. For some people, the first thing they see in the morning and the last thing they see before they go to bed is their phone. I've even seen people fall asleep with their phones still on in their hand. Researchers have found smartphone addiction and other similar disorders emerging in recent years. Things like SA, smartphone addiction, IA, internet addiction, FOMO, fear of missing out, problematic phone use, and nomophobia, just to name a few. Nomophobia is the fear of not being able to use one's smartphone and the services it offers. Have you ever been sitting in class, couldn't stop wondering if you got that one notification or not? This is an example of nomophobia. There's also a link between nomophobia and stress. So why does this matter? Thanks for asking, Stacy. The problem is that with these disorders, unlike other addictions, those who use smartphone and the internet excessively don't realize how often they use their phones. This causes other people to see it as more of an annoyance rather than problematic behavior. Strangely enough, FOMO is one of the reasons that people use their phones so much. Like I said earlier, FOMO stands for the fear of missing out, and it's this fear that causes some people to feel as though they're missing out on rewarding experiences. For example, when you see on someone's story, someone had a party, and you weren't invited to it, but it's fine, really, I'm totally over it, and you really wanted to be there. Since you're on your phone, you don't notice all the fun things that are happening in front of you, because you're too busy worrying about someone else's party. On a different note, people who overindulge in their phone usage tend to worry more about their social performance. They feel added pressure to perform positively in good situations, and in contrast, the fear of negative evaluation gives some people the fear that others are constantly judging them. This fear drives people to use their phones more. And I know what you're thinking. Geez, random voice coming from my device, it can't possibly be that bad. It definitely doesn't have any long-term effects. Lucky for you, there are some very bad long-term effects. Turns out that studies have proven there is a correlation between smartphone addiction and depression and anxiety. Just think about the last time you were in a public place alone. What's the first thing you do? Yeah, that's right, you're on your phone. People who have smartphone addiction have shown patterns similar to substance abuse disorders, as well as withdrawal symptoms. In addition to this, addiction to smartphones can increase interpersonal problems. This can include family conflicts, a decrease or complete lack of offline relationships, and also they seek an increased need for approval in cyberspace. All of this on top of the depression and anxiety. And with 72% of Americans owning smartphones, this is a very serious problem. So, going back to our question, how does the need of smartphones as a social tool affect people's behavior in social interactions? The answer is not great. When people use their smartphones excessively, the ending results can be devastating. Although there is an upside, if you are someone who uses their smartphones as the tool it was meant for and aren't dependent on them in social interactions, then good job. You're a grade A human being. But if you're someone who is dependent on their phone and can't even fathom the thought of going without it, stop it. Get some help.